Hello, I'm Clive Enniver, business strategist. I work with business owners to ensure they have a clear roadmap to success. Growth is something that most people in business are looking for, and as they chase that growth, very often they run into pitfalls which can be avoided just by taking a little time to plan out what's going to happen in this growth. So let's look at the 5 major mistakes people make when they're undertaking a period of growth. The very first thing that people forget very often when they're undertaking some growth is, what are they in business for? What's the core reason that the business exists? It's really easy to get caught up in the day-to-day growth, that is the excitement of change, and at the same time to lose sight of what you're actually doing. Now, you lose sight of the core reason for your business existing. You're not looking at your customers. If you're not paying attention to your customers, somebody else will be, and your customers will be heading off in their direction. So growth suddenly becomes a huge problem. You've got all this expense happening and your customers are not coming back. So remember at all times, stay focused on why you're in business. That's the key reason those customers keep coming through the door. As long as those customers keep coming through the door and you're focused on that core reason, they'll bring their friends. The second major mistake is overspending, or simply not watching the cash flow. Growth typically requires a great influx of cash. So the planning has to be really precise to make sure you're spending money where it needs to be spent, not just spending money for the sake of spending money. It's easy to buy this and buy that and buy something else because it's a bright shiny object. However, is it actually going to deliver the result that you want? And then there comes the matter of, how much money do I have to spend before the cash flow catches up and gives me back that money? Let's be sure that what we're doing is investing in the business for the point of a return, rather than splashing the cash because it looks like we're successful. There's an old story about people who have lots of money, and that is, they're not consumers. They don't buy stuff for the sake of buying stuff. They buy stuff because it works and it delivers. And very often, of course, you'll see people who have been very successful in managing their money. They will have old things, not new things. They've invested wisely. They haven't simply spent. Another common mistake people make is, as they're undertaking growth, they're focused so much on the growth and all these bright shiny things that are happening around them that they neglect the team. When it comes to the team, managing your talent is number one. You brought these people into the business for a very specific purpose, and ideally, of course, we hope that it was to make your business grow. Now, having brought them on for that purpose, let's manage them appropriately. Let's put in place the appropriate measuring tools so that we can see that things are happening the right way. If we try and do these things by the seat of our pants, very often we lose our way. In losing our way, we don't encourage the team. The team becomes disillusioned very, very quickly. Happens overnight. And of course, suddenly you're without a team. How could they possibly desert me in my hour of need? It's not so much about you, it's about the team. But it's you that has to look after the team. Focus on the team, keeping focused on the core reason for the business existing, and you'll find that what I just talked about, your cash flow issues, won't exist. You've got your plan right. You're focused on the core reason for your business existing. You're encouraging your team. Everything works. It's a well-oiled machine. the chances are that the reason you're having this growth is because you've arrived at a position where your business is stable, it's somewhat consistent in delivering what it's meant to deliver, and as a result of that you have systems and procedures in place. Now it might be that in order to achieve the growth that you're after, those systems and procedures might need to change. Are they systems and procedures that are delivering well because that's what they're designed to do, rather than designed to undertake growth? In order to achieve the growth, you might have to change some of those systems and procedures. What we need now is systems and procedures which will handle scaling. That wonderful word that suggests all manner of wonder is coming your way. Scaling. In order to scale your business, you need procedures, systems which will cope. If we don't look to our systems and procedures to ensure that they'll deal with the growth, we can be fairly certain that at a given point in time, might be soon, might be late, it's all going to fall down. If it falls down, everybody gets hurt. Not just you, the business owner, your team gets hurt, your customers get hurt. It's not a good place to be. Look to your systems and procedures. Make sure they'll cope with the change that you envisage for your business. When undertaking growth, probably the biggest mistake a business owner can make is to lose sight of the customer. They're the reason your business exists. If we look back through the reasons why you started this business, it was probably something along the lines of, I want to provide this particular service to these particular people. These particular people, of course, being the customer, which you considered ideal for your business. So we've done that, and we've arrived at a stability that allows us, we think, a foundation from which we can grow. As we grow, we've got to remember who the customer is. If we start looking at alternatives, all of a sudden our business isn't clear. If it's not clear to us, it's certainly not clear to the customer. We've got to focus on the ideal customer, not just numbers. Numbers work in certain areas, but when it comes to customers, it's all about the customer. You have an ideal customer. Focus on that customer, have the other things that I've talked about in place, and your growth is assured.